Hello everyone, welcome back to Beskidy. We start out in our doorway here. We'll give a nod to Grandpa. Hello Grandpa. Yeah, he's kind of looking away. He's probably wondering if we're gonna lose the farm that he works so very hard to provide to his family. We kind of left off actually planting, let's see, oh yeah, we're planting canola here. I did a little bit of work off cam. Last time, let's see, I think we were planting this field over here, and I believe that's the one we were planting. Yeah, I think so. We were planting it into barley. I have another field right over here that I think we'll be planting here in a little bit as well. Last time I had a tractor over here going to kind of disc it up or chisel it up. I don't know what was used. All I know is it turned it into dirt, and here we go. I'm going to get going here just in a little bit to try to put in some canola. Let me see if I can get my... There we go. Is that headed the right direction? 180. You know what? I'm going to send it. There we go. You know, I've noticed that when I manually plant or cultivate something, that the speed is way quicker than when I attempt to hire it. That's probably just something maybe in the game settings or whatever, but it sure seems like that when I hire it, it goes about the speed you would expect it. Oh, look at that. See, it hardly wants to back up. I don't know if it's a thing with this mod or just what the deal is. But yeah, when I'm able to plant, you know, on a setting of 2, you know, there's 3 settings of movement, 1 being the slowest, 3 the quickest. I can't do it on a setting of 3, of course. All I've observed is that when you do it on a setting, or when you hire it, it does it on a setting of 1. I don't know, that's just kind of interesting to me. But it is what it is. Let me do one more loop kind of up here at the top, so I'll kind of have the ends taken care of, if you will. Then I'm going to try to hire this fella, and we'll see if he can make a go of it. Once again, we are in our Ursus tractor C4011. And I still should have done a little more research on the other ones. Got so many wonderful mods people have shared with me, which I really appreciate, and I think it's incumbent on me to learn a little more about them. So I've been trying to do that kind of in the off hours between episodes. Alright, let me see if I can hire this fellow. Gotta get it. Come on, give me 90 degrees. For some reason, backing. That's 91. Why is it when you back up, it always has to go forward? Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, it's still kind of tilted in different ways. Achievement unlocked, long player. I don't know what that means. Alright, let me see if I can get this to go. Higher. There we go. It's got a little bit of a hill in here, kind of in the middle, but we'll see if we can make that work. Alright, let me go to the next one and see if I can get him going. Oh, there's our rooster. Oh yes, there's this one here. Crank it up. Now, I used this tractor previously. I've got a little chisel or cultivator sitting here. Oh, let me see if that turns around. Alright, so far, so good. So far, so good. Alright. Okay, good. That way I don't have to babysit that particular one. This one here, you know, it looks like there's trees on the far end. I probably should do something similar, so I am going to do this also here, except I am pointed off just a fuzz. Let me see if I can... Oops, that changes it too much. When I say change... Oh, there we go. Got rid of that pesky menu. I'm watching... Oops, I'm watching the... there, that's too much. Watching the compass, trying to get it as much 90 degrees as I can. But look at that. Yeah, when you're facing forward, it's like it's sitting on a slope and it rolls forward. Maybe I need to come up further. Yeah, when I press the back key, maybe I need to be, yeah, it's still not totally flat, but it's so close. Come on, Pete. Yeah, see, and then it's, I overcompensate trying to, come on. There we go. All right, got it. Now this one here, I think I'm going to put into wheat. So I've never used this particular drill before. I should probably be learning about all the implements too. So much. You know, at the last time too. All right, here he comes down the other way. Good, good, good. He's hiring nice. You know, I didn't use the ridge marker. So what happens? Okay, it goes that way. And it goes that way, and it comes up. That's interesting. See, what I'm afraid I'll do if I even use the thing, if there wasn't such a thing as GPS, is I would end up plowing out the wrong part of the field that I didn't want to, you know, take out. Anyway, enough job owning. Let me see if I can take this down here. Oops, oh, it already was down. Try again. Here we go. See? Whoa! Okay, so, that's a little too fast. I don't think I like that. I thought it was on, but I guess I wasn't. Alright, so this one here, maybe it isn't so much a setting of... What's going on? Is it not sticking to the... Oh, it isn't totally conforming to my width. Oh, good grief. Has that ever happened to you with GPS where it's almost like I need to tighten that in to something like that? Is that about right? Usually there's a setting when you hit Control 3, it's supposed to conform to the width, but I don't think it does that entirely. And I don't think either that or it didn't keep my desire to be at 90 degrees. Alright, so let me get this up here just a fuzz. And you know, the only problem is, yeah, I got that tree over there. Oop. I can't talk and farm at the same time. I like the sound of this tractor when it's under load. I think it's kind of a cool effect. The quiet rumble it has. Yeah, I totally messed this up. I thought I was pointing the right way. That's what you get for trying to follow the compass, even when you think you're pointed in the right way. It still didn't work. So, yeah, I think I simply just got off on the wrong foot with it. Alright, let me go up here. Let me do a couple strips across the top. Get this already. Actually, it's just to try to keep it out of that tree over there. And maybe by the time it gets there, it'll be fine. Oops. Well, I know what I can do to keep it out of the tree. I'll just take another strip right along this edge so that when it comes up here, there's no reason to turn into the tree or to get tangled up on it. That's what I'm gonna do. My goodness, it's so hard to get something lined up. Yeah, that's gotta be close. Oh. I think that's on. Back up. Put her down. Oops. There we go. This time with a 1. So it must be that it's actually looking at miles per hour. So if a tractor goes a little faster than a certain mile per hour on a speed setting, maybe it still, will hinder you from, or tell you to slow down. Get rid of the menu so you can see a little bit. And this was another Ursus tractor, the 1224. Like I say, I really do like the sound that I'm hearing with it. A lot of times when modded tractors are put together, the model may be different, and maybe it's because it's simply difficult to capture the sound of a real-life vehicle. I've never tried it personally. Oh my goodness. I think there's some key bindings here that are kind of confused between oops, nope, I didn't mean to do that. Are confused between GPS and the operation of the tractor. But whoever took this sound, that seems pretty good. However they came up with it. It's just, I don't know that many of us are equipped with the equipment that we need to go and capture, particular sounds on a vehicle. But if any of you have done it, I'd love to hear how you did it. Alright, we're going to get this guy hired. I think he can handle the rest of the field. Assuming I can get him lined up. Which is always kind of a torturous task. 269, 270. Man, it's close. There, can't get much closer than that. Here we are, planting wheat. Cycle through some other machines. Alright, this one. Oh, it's doing that silly thing up at top. Look at that. I do remember previous versions of Farming Sim, and I'm seeing it here now. There were certain types of seeders, planters, whatever other equipment where it just didn't want to turn around or create a square corner. Now what's curious is why it's leaving all this up here when it doesn't appear to be doing the same thing down there. I'd be kind of curious here to look and watch that other one there, see if it's gonna do the same thing. Maybe it's a hill? Yeah, it seems like the other one's doing all right. Oh, you know what? This is what's going on. It just doesn't have enough punch to back up. Huh. Maybe the tractor's underpowered? I don't know if that's what that means, but that's what's causing this. You know, that other tractor maybe is just bigger enough. If I go back to it, it might be just large enough, or just enough larger, or it's just flat enough up there that it's able to turn around effectively. And oh, hello. It's like it quit here. Huh, I don't recall turning higher off. Maybe that's a setting on this particular tractor that if you come onto it or reactivate it, it quits the higher mode. Is that enough? Nope, gotta turn it out just fuzz whisker more. There we go. Oh, that's what's wrong. It doesn't have any seeds. Duh. Well, it was nice enough that it finished the row at least. Alright, we'll take this up and we'll get it filled with a little more sauce and bring it right on back. It's fall planting season here on Beskidy, and it appears some of our neighbors didn't even get their harvest done. But that's okay. Yeah, I think I like how this one sounds. It reminds me of when I was a kid, and the neighbor that farmed the field by our house had, in the summer, they had these Massey Ferguson combines. I think it was, was there an 860 Massey Ferguson combine? I think there is. Perkins diesel motors in them. And when this tractor is under load, it reminds me of how those sounded back in the day. Now, if I can get around here without running over the chickens or anything else bad happening. Back up into here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it holds very much, but it'll be enough. I probably should head over and get some... Oops. You know the cover is open. How do I close the cover? Unfold so... Oh, there we go. It's probably been open this whole time. Huh. Well, at least it didn't rain. Oh, well. Let me go get some sauce while I'm at it so I can keep this thing running. For those that live in Poland, is this fairly common on a farm where your fuel would be kind of on-site in barrels versus some other kind of storage facility? I know on the farm I worked, we had underground tanks. I know some of the farms around here had overhead tanks, or ones kind of up on stilts. Ooh, I don't know what that was. I hit something apparently. But I was just curious what the norm is in Poland. Maybe it's common to get fuel delivered in a bunch of barrels. Oh, and you know what? I bet that one probably just ran out too, so... One of these times, I'm probably going to need to get something to carry it for me, so I can bring a tender out to the fields. something of that nature. Alright. There you go. Yep, this one's out as well. We'll head on up and get a refill. This also has a very unique sounding engine, and yeah, it'd be really interesting to know how someone got it. You know, if they took the sound themselves, if they got it from the internet. It's a really it sounds like something is scraping or rubbing on something. You know, kind of like a pulley that's going, that's maybe hitting a little metal or something that it shouldn't be. That's just kind of how it strikes me. But maybe that's, maybe that is how it sounds. Back up in here, go get some more. Maybe should fill this one with fuel also. That'll be the worst thing if I end up running out of fuel in the middle of the field. You know, does this cedar hold more? 550 liters. I really don't know. I'll stop by over here and get some sauce. Hello, Grandpa. Yeah, it's a hot day. He's having a pina colada at the house and enjoying life. Here we got some sauce, keeping everything fueled up. You know, a lot of these mods and the save game file, well, maybe I won't say. I was going to say who I got them from, but maybe I'll just keep that off the air in case people bug him for the mods or whatever. Let me see here. I'll just take a strip while I'm over here and start working on some of this. And a lot of dust that puts out. Back down to where we left off. But yeah, this holds 550. I wonder, I almost think that other cedar holds less. Because this one sure seems to do a whole lot more of the field than that other one was able to do. So there we go. Higher. I got a little hole in there. Don't know what that's all about. Anywho, let's check out our other one. Yeah, this one definitely holds less. We'll see if it's sufficient to even finalize this particular field. But the person that gave me the mods, you know, I've watched a number of his videos, and when he's playing with his friends, or at least in the past when he's had some of those videos on here. Why is that opening again? That's interesting. I sure didn't open it. Maybe it'll let me close it. Don't do anything else. He and his friend, when they do seeding or cultivating or fieldwork type of activities, I've noticed they go round and round the field. They try to help each other out. So I don't know what normal is in Poland for farming. They typically go round and round or back and forth, kind of what's going on here. Or if it's common to have multiple tractors working a field, you know, if we did this the Polish way, should both of these tractors be in the same field helping each other? I didn't know what was common back in the day or general practice. So I'm just kind of stumbling around here trying to figure out how to keep my head above water and keep from losing Grandpa's farm. That's all I can say. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this field, so yeah, we're going to have to deal with that. Still a beautiful map, no doubt about it. For such an old game, I think it still stands up. I don't know if I've asked this before either. You know, did Beskidy, did it come forward to Farm Sim 15 and 17 and beyond? Maybe someone knows and they can mention in the comments. Oh, well, maybe it's going to get it. Yeah, but as soon as we get past this little blip here, it isn't going to do the whole width. Yeah, the little strip you gotta come through and do again. Alright, we're done. We'll head up to the farm. We'll get refilled with seeds. Yeah, this tractor has some get up and go. So it definitely must have more horsepower than the C4011 kind of in the field to the right. You know, I do notice many times when I get onto the road, it's a little bumpy getting on there, including down in the fields. And I think that has hindered just a little bit some of the backup and reverse of the tractors when they're hired. So, oh, careful, don't take out the tree. So I maybe should do a little map work. Oop, I didn't mean to zoom in so far. If I can smooth that up, maybe it'll be just a little fuzz easier for our hired help to do what they need to do. Because I've noticed sometimes, I mean, the bump getting onto the main highway, kind of like the at, you know, when we come up into this building, too much of a bump and the hired help script or whatever isn't able to turn. Oh yes, this only holds 250 liters. This is way less than that other one, so back out to the field we go. See, Gramps, we're working hard. Yeah, he says we're hardly working. Whatever. That's a grammar thing, Gramps. Yeah, and before I leave this field, I need to remember to take the chisel with me. So, I don't know why I keep calling it a chisel. It's a cultivator. If it was a chisel, it probably would work like a plow. But I explained last time that I had removed the more realistic mod. You know, that's just something I never... You know, when I got into Farming Sim, I started with Farm Sim... I discovered it during the Farm Sim 15 era, if you will. I started with Farm Sim 09, but I basically bypassed Farm Sim 13. You know, we started with 09 in our family, then we went to 11 and played a lot of Farm Sim 11, but then kind of skipped over it to Farm Sim 15. And the more realistic stuff, I believe was done for Farm Sim 11 and for 13. And during playing 11, Farm Sim 11, I don't think I even knew it existed. And then later with 15, it just wasn't an option. And I know people raved about it. They really liked it. And, I really liked the concept of it too. There goes the bell. Love the concept of it too, tractors, because in '09 in particular, I remember you could get the smallest lizard tractor and it would pull some of the biggest and heaviest equipment, as I recall. Now, it may do it a little bit slower, but the fact that it could pull it when it shouldn't even be able to do that, was very noticeable. Of course, we got the biggest tractors anyhow we could when we had them, because, once we earned enough money to afford them, we wanted them. So we got them. But the more realistic mod came to be to force people to match. Now you had to pay attention to the power requirements of a particular implement. By implement, I mean like the seeder, for example, as to how much horsepower you needed to pull it or operate it, and you had to pay attention to the capabilities of your tractor. And there were many, many other, nods to realism that they tried to inject into the game. I'm trying to remember the name of, was it Durrell? D-U-R-E-L? I think he was the fellow that developed the mod. So the man's a genius, with how he figured all that out, to figure out more realistic. I mean, it was breaking. It was all the physics of moving a vehicle, and if you were hauling enough weight, you couldn't just charge up a hill, or all of a sudden you had the real possibility of powering out, your equipment. And the realism didn't even stop there. There was the field, but then you had off the field, and that's kind of some of what we, there I go, I was talking and totally forgot the cultivator. But the realism didn't stop at the field. It was off the field too. He changed the pricing model. He changed the yields that you could expect. And that's kind of what we ran into last time, when I sold bales. And the amount we got for them was just pitiful. And it's probably sad to say, probably fairly realistic, at least for the time era, when the more realistic mod was made. It may not seem much for those little bales at $1.20 a piece, but, I gotta say, as a kid, I remember the day when you could pick up a bale of hay for a single dollar. At least, oops, whoop, whoop. I didn't mean to do that. All right, there, I guess we got it in there. Kind of messing up here. But when your time is limited on your availability of time to play a game such as this, and you ask yourself, how hard do I want to work, tonight? I can beat my head in and not make much progress, or with my limited time, I can make a little progress, feel like I'm doing something, accomplishing something, whatever. And so you pick and choose where you want to have realism, and I don't know, I just opted to take it out of the game, and that means I probably now can go around and harvest a lot of those. Why am I facing backwards? Go around and harvest some of those hay areas and maybe actually make a little money in here instead of before, where it was going to be hardly worth even getting the machinery out of the shed. And I don't even know if it would cover the cost of operation. That's how pitifully little, we were making off of it. But anyway, as everybody heard, the timer went off, and thank you so much for coming along on yet another episode of Beskidy. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. And goodbye for now.